cops laughed while beating him, but they didn't know someone was recording. Jamal Carter was the kind of man who fixed things: cars, radios, broken relationships. Quiet by nature, but the kind of presence you felt even when he wasn't speaking. In a small garage tucked between a liquor store and a rundown laundromat in East Briarwood, he worked late most nights, wiping grease off his hands with pride and exhaustion. That night, it was raining, the kind of soft, misty drizzle that soaked your clothes slowly and made the streetlights blur like tears in your eyes. Jamal locked the garage at 11:38 p.m., still wearing his navy blue coveralls with the faded Carter's Auto stitched over the chest. He popped his earbuds in, the kind that only worked in one ear now, and began walking the 7 blocks home. He didn't know, couldn't have known, that 2 officers had just pulled over a stolen vehicle 3 blocks away. Tensions were high, radios were hot, and they were on edge, looking for a suspect who didn't exist yet. As Jamal crossed over Linwood Avenue, he noticed the cruiser parked diagonally at the corner, engine humming, spotlight glowing. He didn't break stride, he didn't have anything to hide. But to Officers Renshaw and Doyle, that walk looked like guilt, or arrogance, or simply the wrong skin tone at the wrong hour. "Hey," one shouted from the car. Jamal paused. He pulled out one earbud. "Yeah? Step over here. Hands where I can see him." He blinked, confused. "Is something wrong?" "You match a description." "What description?" he asked. But that was all it took. In seconds, the 2 officers were out of the car, circling him. One shone a flashlight directly into his face. The other reached for his baton. Jamal's heart pounded. His hands were raised, but his mouth made the mistake of asking again, "Why are you stopping me?" Then the shove came. He stumbled backward into the wet brick wall of a closed shop, barely catching himself. The first baton struck him in the ribs, sharp, fast, like lightning. A grunt escaped his throat. Another blow came, then another. They were shouting things, commands, warnings, but all blurred together under the pain and the pouring rain. And then came the laughter. That was what made it unforgettable. Not the bruises, not the blood, but the way one of the officers laughed while Jamal was gasping for air. "Look at him squirm. What's wrong, big guy? Can't handle a little discipline?" Jamal dropped to his knees. One boot slammed into his side. Another hand yanked his arms behind his back, zip-tying them with no care for the joints of flesh. His face hit the pavement, and they laughed again. Across the street, in a small apartment window partially cracked for air, 12-year-old Elijah Hayes sat frozen. His homework lay untouched beside him. His phone, once meant for YouTube or TikTok, was now aimed across the street, shaking but recording. Elijah's breath was shallow. He knew Jamal, had seen him fix cars and buy candy for kids from the corner store. He knew what was happening wasn't right. He knew because his mom had told him what to do if it ever happened. Don't scream, don't run, don't cry, record. And so he did. For 6 straight minutes. He caught the laughter. He caught the insults. He caught the moment Jamal whispered, "I can't breathe," and one cop muttered, "You always say that." He captured it all. And then the patrol car pulled away, tires hissing in the wet street. Jamal, barely conscious, lay limp in the back seat. Elijah sat there in silence, phone shaking in his hand. He had no idea that what he just recorded would soon light a fire bigger than his neighborhood had ever seen. The next morning, Jamal's sister Kiana called the station. He never made it home. The officer on the phone said they had no record of anyone named Jamal Carter in custody. "But he didn't come home," she pleaded. "Try the hospitals," the voice said. They hung up. Kiana was tough, but not hardened. She posted on Facebook, called friends, drove the streets, and then she remembered Elijah. the boy who always waved at Jamal when he walked by. She messaged his mom. 20 minutes later, Kiana sat in Elijah's living room watching the footage, hands trembling. Her scream at the end of the video woke neighbors. Elijah's mom wept silently, clutching her son's shoulder. That night, the video was posted anonymously to Twitter. No watermark, no caption, just raw injustice. And it didn't take long. By midnight, it had been shared 22,000 times. By morning, 480,000. By the next day, a hashtag was born. Hashtag Justice for Jamal. People wanted to know, who was the man in the video? Who were the officers laughing while beating him? Why hadn't it made the news? More importantly, why was he still in custody? Jamal lay in a holding cell, with 3 cracked ribs, a swollen jaw, and no phone call. A clipboard by his door listed the charges: resisting arrest, assaulting an officer, disorderly conduct. But no weapons, no stolen items, no drugs, no warrants, nothing but fabricated fear and bruises. He sat there, wondering if anyone even knew where he was. What he didn't know was that the world had just found him. If this part shook you, pause and hit the like button. Comment justice so others see this, and make sure you subscribe because what happens next will shock you. It started with a whisper. One retweet here, a repost there. Someone screen recorded the video and uploaded it to TikTok with the caption, "They laughed while beating him. No badge number, no accountability, no humanity." It exploded. Within 12 hours, the clip had amassed 1.6 million views. The comment sections turned into battlegrounds. Some cried, some raged, some demanded justice. But one thing was clear. Everyone had seen the laughter. That haunting smirk, that twisted sense of control. It wasn't just brutality. It was performance. A joke shared between uniforms at a man's expense. In a cramped police precinct across town, Officer Doyle stared at the TV mounted in the break room, jaw tight. The video was playing on national news now. Grainy, shaky, but unmistakable. His voice, his laughter, captured mid-kick. He muttered a curse and stormed out of the room. Officer Renshaw, sipping coffee, shook his head. "They won't believe that's us," he said. But even he didn't believe that. Meanwhile, Kiana sat at the dining room table, still wearing yesterday's clothes, refreshing her inbox every minute. Reporters were now emailing from Los Angeles, London, Johannesburg. Her phone hadn't stopped buzzing. And still, no word from the station. No formal charge, no public notice, just silence. Until a knock came at the door. It was Aisha Monroe, civil rights attorney, former city council candidate, a woman known for dismantling corrupt officers in depositions like they were poorly built sandcastles. She saw the video. "I'm taking his case." Kiana stared at her. "But we don't have money." Aisha smiled, cold and clear. "Then it's perfect. They'll learn what it means to break someone they thought was invisible." Jamal finally got a phone call. The officer slid the receiver under the gate with a smirk, saying nothing. He dialed. "Kiana?" he cracked. "Where's Mom?" "She's here, baby. We're here. Everyone is," she cried. What's going on?" She hesitated. "They know. The world knows. The video. It's everywhere." He blinked. "What video?" Back in Elijah's house, the boy watched a CNN commentator mention anonymous footage captured by a bystander. His heart pounded. He wasn't just a bystander. He was the witness. He had seen too much. Elijah had never been famous, never been viral, but now his phone buzzed non-stop. Private messages from news anchors, lawyers, even celebrities. His mother took the phone from him. "You did the right thing, baby." He nodded. "I know, but are they going to come after me?" She pulled him close. They better not. The precinct was now in full damage control mode. They held a press conference. Behind the podium stood Captain Warren, flanked by stoic-faced officers. "The incident you've seen is under internal review," he said calmly. "We ask the public to refrain from judgment."